Jimmy, thanks so much for joining us inside the Ice House.
Thanks for having me, Lance.
So ESPN is launching its new direct-to-consumer streaming service, signaling the next era for the worldwide leader. ESPN already has had so many defining eras, as you know, from the rise of cable sports to the launch of ESPN Plus and now this. When you think about this new chapter, what does the next era mean to you personally, and how do you see it reshaping the way fans experience ESPN?
Two things are happening today. First off, we are going direct to consumer, as you said. We are making 12 networks available for the first time, direct to consumer. That's over 47,000 live events. We've been working hard to build up our rights portfolio over the past few years, and we've done a great job there. On top of our existing rights portfolio, we announced a large partnership or an expansion of our partnership with the NFL. We announced WWE. But we couldn't be more excited about our opportunity to make all of our networks and all of our content, all of our studio content, all of our films available direct to consumer. So that's part one. Part two, as you mentioned, is an enhanced app. And that's across the connected TV, mobile, tablet. Many new features and functionality launching today. And we're equally excited about that. We know that sports fans don't just want to watch; they want to experience, they want to interact, and that's what we're providing here. And we're equally excited about the enhanced app. I will at the same time tell you, Lance, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Right? This is the first inning. We're launching today with many new features, but everything that we have on our roadmap will not be live today. You'll see regular updates over the coming weeks, months, and years. And so look, our mission is to serve the sports fan anytime, anywhere. We love the traditional pay TV ecosystem. It's been very good to us, but we obviously see the trends, and we need to be present direct to consumer. We need to present sports fans with the opportunity to buy all of ESPN in one place.
So you mentioned the enhanced app, and I've been a user of the ESPN app for a long time. So I'm excited for this enhancement, these new features that are going to come. And you mentioned it, right? Fans want more than just to watch the game. They want interactivity, whether that's fantasy, whether that's betting, whether that's being able to easily access box scores and statistics and whatnot. How do you see personalization and interactivity becoming central to this new ESPN experience in this new era?
Yeah, great question. Look, first off, we've led in personalization, right? We've been investing in personalization, right content to the right user at the right time for many years. So before today, you could favorite a sport, a league, a team.
I have my Yankees, my player. Giants, my Rutgers all ready to go.
Okay, I'm Yankees, Giants, Notre Dame.
There you go.
Okay, so but we very much pride ourselves on leading in the interactive space, and that includes personalization. Fast forward to today, and we are taking the next step here, which is a personalized sports center, and it's a product. Look, I'm a huge sports fan. One of the things I've always wanted is a sports center that's dedicated to me and my Yankees, Giants, Knicks, Rangers, Notre Dame. And so I woke up this morning and that's it. That's what I got. And so if your team played last night, if there's relevant highlights for you, that's what you're going to get. You're also going to get the top plays. You're going to get lowest common denominator stuff, the most prevalent news, if you will. And so that, I think, is the best example of how we're leaning into personalization.
It's devils for me. I know Rangers for you, but it's devils for me. So if you think about the legacy of ESPN in cable and the potential legacy of ESPN now in direct-to-consumer streaming, how do you balance honoring this rich history that ESPN has had that allowed me to grow up loving sports while still pushing ESPN into something new?
Well, another really good question. I want to be clear. We will still be present in the traditional pay TV universe. So we believe that there's still a ton of value in the pay TV ecosystem, whether it's DirecTV, Charter, Comcast, or the digital MVPDs, YouTube TV, Hulu Live. We're not incentivized at all to have people cut the cord and go direct. Really, what you're going to see is us going after people that are on the sidelines. That's going to be our focus. That's going to be who we are marketing to. So we believe that this is going to be in large part additive to the current ESPN subscription base, and at the same time, the experience within the ESPN app will be the premier sports destination, right? So whether you access us or subscribe to ESPN in the traditional way, through a virtual MVPD or direct, our focus is on driving you to the ESPN app, because again, that's where all these new features, that's where all this new functionality will be available. And so we're working with the traditional distributors to get that message out there. Hey, authenticate, go to the ESPN app, use your credentials, and then you will access all of this new functionality.
So outside of this direct-to-consumer streaming, outside of this enhanced app, there's a lot going on at ESPN right now. A lot's happened. Earlier this month, ESPN acquired the NFL Network and other NFL media assets, including linear rights to Red Zone. NFL is getting a 10% equity stake in ESPN in the deal. You said that this deal fuels ESPN's digital future and sets the stage for this new direct-to-consumer app. So how central was the NFL partnership to that bigger vision of what ESPN is building digitally?
We love our relationship with the NFL, and we've been looking for ways to expand for some time, to expand that relationship. We've had conversations with them over the years about their media assets, as you said, including NFL Network. From a direct-to-consumer perspective, the opportunity to take ownership of the NFL Network and include that in ESPN direct-to-consumer was incredibly compelling for us. There's the additional games, there's the game recaps, there's the film library, there is all of their studio programming. Once the deal closes, our intention is to include all of NFL Network in the base tier at $29.99 of ESPN direct-to-consumer. So that was really... That was the I think the centerpiece of the 4 deals that we did with the NFL. But there were other components, including partnering with them on our launch today and making sure that we were aligned around the features and functionality as they relate to NFL games, NFL content. There was also the opportunity to bundle with NFL Plus Premium, which includes Red Zone. That bundle will launch on September 3rd for $39.99. And then there was the draft, which was really important to me, really important to the leadership team at ESPN, and quite frankly, really important to all of our employees at ESPN. It's a huge part of our identity. We launched the draft with the NFL. By the time this current extension expires, we'll have been partnered with the NFL on the draft for 50 years. So there are many elements of this deal that are important. But I'd say, just going back to my earlier point, the most important element is our taking ownership of NFL Network for direct-to-consumer.
And unrelated to this recent partnership with the NFL, ESPN in 2027 will produce and televise its first Super Bowl, Super Bowl 61 in Los Angeles. Congratulations, first and foremost. I know that's a big moment for the network. So as you're building towards that moment, what does it mean just for ESPN to be now part of the rotation, and how grand will this broadcast be for the network in now just under 2 years?
Look, we've spent years improving our Monday Night Football broadcast. We have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, as you know.
The best in the business, I think.
I agree. We have Peyton and Eli doing the majority of Monday Night Football games on ESPN2. We've done a fantastic job with NFL Live. We've done a fantastic job with Sunday Countdown, Monday Countdown. And then, of course, we're covering the league all year round across all of our studio programming. So the NFL is a huge part of what we do. So when we sat down and started negotiating the renewal several years ago of Monday Night Football, out of the gate, we made it very clear to the league that getting in the Super Bowl rotation was really important to us. And to their credit, they got it and they worked with us. And so, the first Super Bowl ever for ESPN will be in 27, SoFi, LA. Very exciting for us. That's coincidental. It's very serendipitous because Disney owns the majority of ESPN. They're based right down the street. The headquarters is. It'll be great for our sales team in terms of sponsorship and hospitality. It'll be great to have our execs across the Walt Disney Company there. It's a fantastic stadium. I've been there many times. And they're wonderful people, the folks who run that stadium. And so we're really looking forward to it. But yeah, it'll be a defining moment for us. It'll be the biggest event. Needless to say, it'll be the biggest event we've ever produced, and we've already started planning for it. Like we have executives who have been appointed within ESPN and also at Disney to spend the majority of their time focused on this building up to the Super Bowl. So yeah, we're all incredibly excited about it.
Yeah, as are we. We're excited to obviously see it on ESPN, as you said, for the first time in the network's history. So I spoke earlier to how fans today don't just want to watch games, right? We want to play fantasy. We want to place bets, two things I do often, frankly. We want to track stats, personalize our own experience. And we talked about how the ESPN app, even over the years before today, has had personalization, and now that's going to an even greater level. But with these NFL assets now in the mix, how much closer are you to creating sort of an all-in-one hub for the NFL, all-in-one hub of football inside of ESPN?
Look, we cover all sports. Yeah. We're the place of record. When something happens in the sports world, in general, people tune into ESPN. And so we pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on the breadth and depth of our rights portfolio. The NFL is incredibly important. So is our partnership with the NBA, the WNBA, the SEC, the ACC, the college football playoff, tennis, golf. I can go Premier Lacrosse League. I can go on and on in terms of our rights, our partnerships, and we're very pleased with what we have. We do not have plans to create an NFL hub within ESPN.com or the ESPN app. I will tell you that once the deal closes and we fully acquire the NFL network, that will be a marquee asset for ESPN, and it will have prominent placement within our digital properties. And the team is now starting to think about where or how that is presented within our various digital platforms.
So in addition to the deal with the NFL, ESPN announced in early August a partnership with WWE. This agreement will bring things like WrestleMania or events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, among other WWE premium live events to the ESPN platform. What made WWE the right partner, and how does this fit into your broader strategy?
One of the challenges that we all have in the direct-to-consumer world is churn. And so when Nick Khan and I started to talk about a potential WWE partnership, the first topic in those discussions was churn, and could we work together to fill gaps or voids in our schedule during the calendar year? And the answer was yes. We have a fantastic relationship with TKO. We have a fantastic relationship with Nick and the WWE folks. And we're excited to work together with them on these premium level events. Look, ESPN was started with entertainment in its title. And so this obviously tucks right into our rights portfolio. There's fantastic athleticism. There's huge personalities. There's great storytelling. We believe we pride ourselves on being a storytelling enterprise, and we feel like this is a natural fit, a natural extension of what we do at ESPN.
So you've described and have talked about in our conversation this as part of building out ESPN's unprecedented content portfolio, right? You named all the sports and all the different networks and leagues that ESPN has partnerships with that are broadcast throughout its different networks. How do you see all these different entities, right, helping to attract different types of audiences or extending engagement in unique ways, whether you're a college football fan, SEC, ACC, whether you're WNBA, like you said, even Premier Lacrosse League? We had Paul Rabel on the podcast before too. How do you see all of these different entities sort of working together to help bring regardless of the fan that you are, to ESPN and its platforms?
Look, we want to be the front door for sports fans. We want to be the starting point. And one of the ways you accomplish that is through your great coverage. Like I said before, place of record, our reporting, our investigative journalism, our daily news reporting, our fantasy stats, schedules, all of our studio programming. That's one of the ways. The other, a really important component of our entire strategy, rights portfolio. Mm-hmm. And so you asked me about WWE. Let's go back to that in terms of your question on audience. One of the things that was really attractive to me regarding the WWE is the fact that the audience is younger than our typical fan at ESPN, and it's more female. It's 38% female. And so that's compelling to me. When we talk about our priorities at ESPN, one of them is audience expansion. Mm-hmm. And that's what all of our employees are focused on, expanding our audience in smart, creative, innovative ways. And we believe that having this broad rights portfolio is going to help us with our core fan, continue to be relevant, continue to be the starting point, but also help us expand our audience to new fans. By the way, including casual fans. Yeah. I'm confident that someone like me is going to continue to engage with ESPN. Okay, what about younger people? What about casual fans? What about women? Are we doing enough to be the front door, the starting point, the place of record for all of these other fans, whether they're hardcore or casual?
So, Jimmy, as we begin to wrap up our conversation, the sports rights landscape has gotten incredibly competitive. Amazon, YouTube, Netflix, Apple, among many others, all going after the same live sports that ESPN is as well. So in your mind, what gives ESPN this edge in this new environment with all these different players? And why should fans continue to think of ESPN as that front door, their home for sports, even with, this now very competitive market?
Starts with our brand and our 4 letters. As you know, our direct-to-consumer service is called ESPN. And we contemplated many different options here, but we ultimately went with ESPN because we know that there's real power in our 4 letters. We do a ton of research. We have a world-class research team. And one of the things that I take a great deal of pride in is the fact that younger people love ESPN. They see us as the most innovative, the most trustworthy. They see us as a digital-first brand. And so if you think about that, it's pretty incredible, the fact that we've been able to, I guess, thread this needle and maintain our relevance with the core traditional sports fan and also extend our brand and our relevance to younger people who are spending so much time on social platforms, on various digital platforms. And so that really is our focus and our priority going forward. And we believe that everything I just said sets us up really well for today. Our massive digital reach across .com, across the app, across social platforms and channels. If you look at how we're resonating, it wasn't too long ago, Lance, where we were the #1 brand in the world on TikTok. Now I think we're the #1 media brand on TikTok, but we're up and to the right in terms of engagement on that platform, in terms of engagement on Instagram, et cetera. And we take a lot of pride in that, and that is really helping our business. And like I said, we believe that it sets the foundation for today's launch.
Well, Jimmy, congratulations on today's launch. Congratulations on the new direct-to-consumer streaming, the new and enhanced app. And thank you so much for joining us inside the Ice House.
Thanks for having me, Lance.